Hey there, happy Wednesday. While we get set up, I'm gonna see, hope everything's working. I'm gonna share this real quick to my group because this is a super impromptu Facebook Live, but there was a conversation going on in my group the other day all about, what is a virtual assistant? Oops, mute that. What exactly do they do? And so if you are new to me, if you are new to Live Free Mama, I'll go ahead and just introduce myself real quick. My name is Michaela Quinn. Hey, Marcy. And I help moms. I'm trying to see if I can figure out how to share this. I help moms launch their freelance business from home. I wonder, there's that button. Share to a group. There we go. Anyways, now that I got the tech stuff figured out, my name is Michaela Quinn, and I help moms launch a profitable freelance business from home so they can have more freedom, more flexibility, and they can make a income while they get to be at home with their kids. So some of the resources that I have to help moms in this journey is my brainstorming guide, or one of my resources I have. Hey, Brittany, I'm answering your question, Brittany. It was a great question and one that I am so glad you asked. But one of my resources is this brainstorming guide that helps walk moms through how to figure out how they can leverage their current skills and their current talents and their current experience into a profitable freelance career. So for some moms, it's super like black and white. So some moms are in a marketing degree, or they do a lot of writing for their job, or they maybe do graphic design. And so it's very black and white that like the mom that does a lot of marketing maybe goes into digital marketing for herself and as her freelance business, or the mom that does a lot of writing goes into copywriting, or the mom that does a lot of graphic design goes into graphic design. But for some of us, or for some of you, we're in a job where it maybe is not so like black and white and like this is your path, this is what you should do to start your freelance business and become a work-at-home mom. So for me, I was a teacher. It wasn't so black and white for how I could transition my teaching skills into a freelance business. So I started out as a virtual assistant, and a virtual assistant is basically like a virtual, meaning you can work from wherever you are, from your home, from the coffee shop, in whatever state you are in, or city or country, on someone's team who is maybe in another location. But a virtual assistant is someone who is basically just a jack of all trades person. They come in and they kind of fill in the extra tasks that the admin type tasks that maybe the business owner is getting caught up in, and they're spending maybe 3 hours a day doing all of these emails and following up with people, instead of being able to get on client calls or create content or whatever it is that is actually going to make them money. So a lot of people will hire on a virtual assistant to kind of help fill in that gap. And so a virtual assistant, you're basically just a virtual support person. So, and your job is going to look different based on what client you have. So, and it really is going to depend on what that client needs. But I can kind of show you what that could look like from my experience and the types of stuff that I have people on my team help fill out with. So here's kind of like a look at what a virtual assistant could do, or what it could look like. When I first started out, some of my tasks as a virtual assistant for my very first client was scheduling her social media posts. Hey, Samantha. Hey, Mackenzie. I scheduled her social media posts. So she had all of her social media content. I know, right? Hi, Dre. I think this is my fourth fourth water bottle of the day. But I scheduled all of her social media posts. So she had them on a Excel spreadsheet. She had the content all done, the graphics created, and I just had to go into the software or the system that she used, which was called Hootsuite, and schedule those out. It was super easy. I had no background knowledge of Hootsuite or social media or anything. And so she created, the very first time I did this, she created a quick little tutorial video. Hey, Megan. And sent that over to me. I watched it. It was like 2 minutes. And then from there, I knew how to do it. And so that was a big task that she handed off to me. Once I did that, then she had me do a couple other organization projects. She had like hundreds and hundreds of blog posts. And so she had me go through and organize. Hey, Sarah. She had me go through and organize all of those blog posts on a spreadsheet and categorize them and like all of this stuff so that she could easily use that spreadsheet to help repurpose content. See, what else did I do for her? As our relationship grew, then she started to give me more. Hey, Mallory. Then she started to give me more responsibilities. And then I took over, one of the big things I took over was her Facebook group. So she had a Facebook group, just like I have a Facebook group. If you're not in my group yet, you should totally request to join. But she had a Facebook group, and one of my responsibilities was to help her increase the engagement and build the community in that group. So I spent a lot of time researching and spending time in other, oh, yay, I'm so excited, Jolie. Okay, Kelly, I'll get to that. And so I spent a ton of time researching and spending time in all of these Facebook groups, because a lot of these entrepreneurs, these online business owners, a lot of them have Facebook groups to kind of help, get their message out, build that community, and connect with people. And so I spent a lot of times in those groups, saw what was working, saw what was getting engagement, and then I created a plan for her, and then I started implementing that plan. As my relationship grew, then she started having me do some landing page creation, some admin and overseeing. She did these like big giveaways twice a year. So then I oversaw part of that project. She also was really into speaking. And so I would do a lot of her speaking outreach, where I would research different conferences, different speaking opportunities, and I would pitch her to the speaking opportunities. And then I managed all of that for her. For her, I worked about 30 hours a month, and she just bought a package of hours, and I had like my main responsibilities, but then as stuff came up or she had other projects, she would communicate those to me via Trello. Oh, I also did a lot of email management, which is not my favorite thing. Email management is also one of the first things that people are like, take this off my plate, because like people get so many emails a day, and I basically just sifted through all her emails and said, respond to this one, respond to this one. The ones that I could respond to, I responded to. And then it kind of grew from there. I started taking over her Instagram and did other little things, but that was just one client. For another client, I would so she would do Facebook Lives, and then I would listen to her lives and repurpose those into blog posts, and then create like an email that she would send out to her list as her email for every Monday. So I did that. I started doing a lot more landing page and opt-in page. If you don't know what that is, an opt-in page, like if you go to my brainstorming guide, which is one of my main free resources, michaelaquinn.com/brainstorming-guide, it takes you to this page, and there's only one action you can take on that page. And that action is to give me your email. And if you give me your email, then I send you my brainstorming guide. But that page, it looks like it's a website, but it's not. It's made in a landing page software, which is like a drag and drop software. And now I'm just rambling. But I didn't, the point I wanted to make is I didn't start out with some of those higher level tasks. I started out with small, simple projects, and it just really depends based on the client. So Now, as the online business owner, I have a couple different people on my team. I have someone that manages my Pinterest account, and she manages all of that and helps drive traffic to my website through Pinterest. I have someone who is a virtual assistant. She helps me out very much in a fashion that I started out with, where all of these extra projects that I don't have the time to take on or really actually complete, I send to her. So I love writing my own blog posts. I'll type those up, but it takes a lot of time for me to format and upload those and get all the graphics created that I need to do to get that blog post out and live. So I write the post in a Google Doc, I send it to her, she uploads it. But again, she started and she didn't necessarily know how to use WordPress and upload and format a blog post correctly. So the very first time she did that, I created a run-through video and walked her through it, and now she has that, and created a checklist. And so now she has that for each time she does that in the future. She also helps me repurpose some of my content. So I have, oh, my husband's trying to FaceTime me. I have all of my, hey Beth, I have all of my blog posts on, I have all of my blog posts on my website, and then she helps me. I'm kind of in this period where I'm trying to still produce a little bit of content, but I'm also in the process of launching a podcast. So she's helping me repurpose all of the content that I already have out there in this period where I'm not creating new content. So she looks at my blog post, takes stuff from them, looks at my emails, takes stuff from them, and uses that to help fill up my Instagram feed right now. And then we're just getting ready to add on a portion where she's helping me take over parts of the Live Free Mama Facebook group, so she can help me run that, so that I can then spend more time at helping those that are in my course or creating some of that content. So I'm really excited about that. But that's just a way crazy overview of all of the different things that a virtual assistant could do. But I also wanted to kind of touch on who can be a virtual assistant. Is there, because this is another question that comes up a lot in the group. Do I have to have a certain degree? Do I have to have certain certifications or certain backgrounds? Like, what if I have no skills, I have no training in this, and I'm literally starting from zero? Well, I think you need to give yourself a little bit more credit. Go through my brainstorming guide, because you really will see that you do have a lot of experience and a lot of skills that can translate. But the truth is, anyone can be a virtual assistant. You don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to be in some super specific career right now. You could be a stay-at-home mom. And if you are in the group, there was a thread, it was asked recently, I want to start Michaela's course, but I'm really nervous because I don't have a college degree. Tons of moms got on there and shared, I don't have a degree. People aren't asking, hey, let me see your college transcript. Let me see all of that stuff. You just got to get really good at translating how you can help them. And so that's something that I teach and cover in my course. But anyone can be a virtual assistant. If you're a stay-at-home mom right now, you're working as a teacher, you're a nurse, whatever it is that you do currently, you can be a virtual assistant. And why I think a virtual assistant is a great place to start. It's definitely not where everyone should start. If you have, maybe you have a lot of marketing background, you should start in the marketing, social media marketing, or digital marketing area. But if you don't have that black and white, this is where I should start, set path. A virtual assistant really is a great place to start, because one, that tends to be one of the first people online business owners hire. I am a super small online business, and it was one of the first people I hired. And I'm not like some big booming influencer on Instagram that has thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to, spend on a team and employees each month. But I am a mom, and I have a priority that work is just a small part of my life. I very much want to be a hands-on mom. And so instead of trying to grow a business and working 100 hours a week, Brittany, that's a great question. I hire on support to help me because I want to have lost my train of thought. I want to have a really good balance, and my goal is to work about 25 hours a week, and that's it. So I talked about what do they do, who can be what. Oh, why it's a great place to start. Because you don't have to have any certain experience. A lot of people are willing to hire on a beginner. If you're one of those, if you're like sitting there thinking, well, why is someone going to hire me over so-and-so who already knows what they're doing and, has all this training? Well, someone who knows exactly what they're doing, they know all the systems, they know all the software, their hourly rate is going to be a lot higher than someone who's just starting out. So an entry-level VA might start out anywhere from $20 to $30 an hour, whereas someone who is an expert, if I'm going to someone that's an expert to do my social media marketing or do some of my tech stuff, I'm probably looking at the very low end spending $50 an hour, but maybe upwards of $75 to $100 an hour. So there are people who don't have the budget to hire, hey Taylor, there are people who don't have the budget to hire the expert yet, but they do need to hire on support. And so they hire on a virtual assistant because of the variety of tasks that that person can take on and because they are a much more affordable option. And people, we can talk about you, like talking about the whole, like, why would someone hire me over someone else? Brittany, I'm so glad it's helpful. Oh crap, I gotta hurry up because I gotta go pick up my daughter. I love talking about this and I've lost track of time. But that's a topic for another day. So I know there were some questions on finding these jobs, and then Brittany, you asked, how would you land your first client as a VA if you don't have a portfolio? Brittany, that is something I cover in depth in my course, from like the whole strategy of how to build relationships. I show you how to find clients through yay, Mallory, I'm so excited. That's such a big step. So I teach you how to find clients through Facebook groups. There's tons of Facebook groups. Hi, Melissa. And there's also reaching out to your personal connections. There's cold pitching, and then there's attending like local meetups and like local networking events. So those are the four kind of routes you can take. I would say Facebook groups are where most of the people in my program go. Hi, Claire. Go to find clients. And how you kind of land that in the beginning, you can create a portfolio. I have a blog post on that, Brittany. I'll try to link that in the comments later, but if you go to michaelaquinn.com/blog, there's one about how to build confidence when you are just starting out. And part of that is, instead of having this portfolio of work that you have done, you can kind of showcase work that you could do. So look at that blog post. I'll post it, but I do cover that in the course. And then Kelly, so how do you find these jobs? A lot of times it's just figuring out who your ideal client is, understanding them, and then figuring out where they are hanging out and hanging out where they're hanging out. And I teach the whole strategy behind that in my course. And I'm sorry, is it Scylla? I'm gonna answer your questions. I apologize if I butchered your name, but then I have to like run super fast to get my daughter. Why are more and more VAs selling courses? Is it because being a VA is no longer profitable? Well, it's just, it's definitely profitable, but as a service-based business, there's definitely a level and a place where you cap out, because there's only so many hours in a day. And so how you, like, let's say you start out at $30 an hour and you max out at $5,000 a month. you can continue steady at $5,000 a month. But once people are starting to make money and they're in this online business world, they see the possibilities and the opportunities that are out there. And maybe they want to start working less and making more. So they can either do that a couple of routes, going the agency route, bringing on subcontractors and kind of just being the head of the business and giving all of the implementation to other people. Or they can start selling courses and creating lines of passive income. And that's just a way to make more money. Instead of helping people one-on-one, you're helping people like one-to-many, which is just more profitable. So I started out as a VA, and then I found that there was this need for other moms who really wanted to learn how to grow a freelance business from home. I had the teaching background, and so for me, it was a no-brainer to create courses and help kind of start this movement to educate more moms on their opportunities out there. I have to run though, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have more questions, just put them in the comments and I'll come back throughout the day and the next couple of days and answer those. All right. Oh, I was going to end with this though. If you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, being a VA sounds awesome. It sounds like something I want to do. Your next step would be to grab my video training on how to become a work-at-home mom. Brittany, yes, you should do it. Grab that free video training if you haven't yet. I'll put the link in the comments. And then if you get that training and you really think this is something you want to do, you want someone to guide you step by step through that process, someone who's been there, someone who can provide a community to support you, I would strongly suggest you taking a look at my course and then come joining us. We've got a lovely group of moms who all help support. We're all in this together, and I'd love to have you join us. But I gotta go. Have a good day. Bye.